Did you know that the moon can help you be more successful in business? Sounds absolutely crazy, right? The thing is that the moon is like this gravitational pull on the water on the planet and on us. And so when the moon is at the closest point to the Earth, it has a different impact and a different energy to when it's further away. And so the animals feel it inherently. And so did we before we got wired and high tech and digital, and we forgot to listen to our energy within. And so when you start playing with the moon and your cycles, everything can open up. And there's this amazing book by Kate Northrup that really explains this. And I read this a few years ago and I was like, wow, that really makes sense. And so the biggest thing that I notice within my fertility cycle is that when I'm on my period, it's a full moon. So my body, just without even telling me, my body is already doing this. And so if you think about your fertility cycle and the moon, then the next phase of that is also, when is the moon waning? When is the moon full? When is the moon a new moon? And it can help you with allowing those cycles and really plotting your business around those cycles. Because when you think about it, there are times of the month within your fertility cycle that you are most energetic and enthusiastic and passionate. And there are times where you're more reflective and peaceful and you want just to maybe hide under the duvet. And you need to work out what is the best times for you within your cycle when you are going to be most out there and most times where you want to retreat. And so looking at the moon and the cycles can help you with that. So when it's a new moon, it very often that is also in my sort of cycle where I've actually got most energy. And so a new moon is a great time for doing stuff. It's a new moon today and I suddenly was like, oh, this is why I've woken up and I'm like, yes, I've got all this energy. Because I wasn't planning to make YouTube videos today. But I realized, oh, it's a new moon, but I also felt energetically like I was inspired and ready to get going and do things and make plans and make things happen. And so when you're in that phase, that is a great phase to get stuff done, to make plans and also act on them. So that you can, whether it's planning out a launch or writing your book or maybe it's writing your emails for the month or whatever it may be that is going to move you forward and you're at your most productive. And so when you're in that phase of your cycle, but also phase of your business, you can plan in to say, right, that's my doing phase. So in your time blocking, you can say that is the time when I'm going to actually get most stuff done. And so for me, I will, I'm going to be doing some studying later. I'm doing YouTube videos and I'm on it. And I'm probably going to be on it for, a good week. I've been hibernating and I've been on my period. And now I'm ready to kind of be like, oomph, I'm off. And so the thing is that if you can recognize when your period is, when you're going to be your most productive and most time when you want to hide away and retreat, if you can plan that into your business and you can say, well, actually, I'm not going to be particularly productive right now. I'm going to be a bit emotional. I'm going to want to hide away. Actually, that means you can say, right, during that time, I do things that aren't particularly creative. I do things that are quite admin-y and boring, but I can say, oh, well, I'll do those things and, I'll just do the boring stuff. And when I'm in my creative mode with the new moon, I am like on it. And it means that's when I want to do my writing and my creativity and be most in flow. So the waxing moon is kind of the growth phase. This is a good time to do some marketing. So it might be when you are, building, you're working on things, you're being productive, but you are at the same time, it's not your most creative, but you're getting stuff done, you're being really aligned, you're achieving, and it's kind of more your alpha energy. And so this is maybe a time where you can feel more like you're hustling, but we don't want to hustle, we want to follow our intuition. And so by being in this phase, it's more of a doing energy. But it's a really useful time to know this is when I'm going to get my stuff done. The full moon, as it might suggest, is when you are in the phase of abundance and creativity and you're ready to go out there and make things happen. And so this can be a great time where although the full moon can feel like, oh, it's such strong energy, and sometimes we're wired and we stay up all night, and sometimes we are like, rah. Other times we are like ready to go out there and meet people and do things and stay up all night, and we're wired. And so use that energy, use that excitement, that passion, that like sizzling vibration to make things happen. And so I will always look at, can I do a launch around that time? And I have to watch myself that I don't get too frazzled on the energy. But I can, if you are planning with the moon and you know this is when it's going to be a super moon, you are bringing in that abundance and that energy, and it's a really potent time to be doing things in business and to be reaching people and talking to people and sizzling with that vibration. And then we move into the waning moon, the quieter period where we're more reflective. And this is often the point where I often get my period literally just sort of around the full moon, and then I'm in my quieter period and I go into that place where I want to hibernate and retreat. And so in this phase, I want to snuggle under blankets. I don't feel particularly social, and I will hide away, and that's when I'll be doing some admin jobs that I don't particularly enjoy, or I might just press pause. I'll be sleeping more and I'll be more reflective. I'll definitely have tears. I'm more emotional at this time. And so if you can recognize that that's when you're going to be more emotional, it means that, you're not going to plan in things for your business where it's like, oh, you've got to go and do something that might be high stress, because you might not manage it in the same way. So if you can, rather than seeing like, oh, I need to do this thing and why am I being so emotional? See it as, well, I'm going to manage my business. I'm going to time block. This is when I'm not feeling the most social and out there and alpha energy and sort of having that masculine energy, which we need, but it's not the right time for that. And so if you can just have that awareness in your business, you're not going to be pushing yourself to do things when it doesn't feel right. And so when it feels good that you can hide away and you can say to yourself, actually, I'm just going to hide under the covers. I'm going to think about things. And in meditating and being quiet and still, ideas will bubble up for you and things will come, but it's because we've been quieter. We've allowed that white space and we've had that time, that reflection to build things that are really, can bubble away in the background and percolate in our minds. And so we're not having to do and be on it in the same way. And so right now I've just come out of that phase, and I literally was like wanting to hide under the electric blanket and just stay there forever. And it was winter and cold, and I just felt like, oh, I'm so exhausted. And in that time I did some sort of admin jobs that I needed to get done, but I didn't have to think about them. I wasn't being creative. I was just getting some stuff done. And it means that now I've woken up today and I feel like, yes, I'm on it. There's a new moon, there's a new energy. So if you can just shift your business, and it's kind of just a tweak. It's not the full-blown reinvent the wheel, change everything. It can make a massive difference, and it really helps your business. And just the way that you feel about it, and rather than beating yourself up when you feel you don't have that full-on energy, you're just being reflective of that. So if you enjoyed this video, I have a wonderful abundance meditation that I would love to share with you. A client just told me that they tried it out for about 3 or 4 days and they brought $10,000 into their business when they were really worrying about money. And so it's lovely to allow yourself to step onto that timeline. And so hopefully you enjoy that, and I would love to see you again soon. Please subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye 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 for now.